The current day, the Russian army carried out another 2 missile strikes on the bridge across the Dniester estuary in Odessa region. This was reported by Pivden Operational Command. One missile hit a previously broken track. The shock wave damaged several private houses nearby. There are no victims among the people.
In the morning, the enemy launched a missile strike on Odessa region. All the details are being clarified. The information will be announced later, but it can already be officially confirmed that one enemy missile was destroyed by the anti-aircraft missile unit of the Pivden Air Command.
This morning, the army of the Russian Federation fired at the city of Mykolaiv. According to Suspilne, one woman was injured. The victim has been taken to hospital, where she is awaiting surgery. Also, according to preliminary information, the city's water supply pipe has been damaged. This day, the Russian military launched missile strikes on Novy Bukh in Mykolaiv region. The central part of the town suffered significant damage. According to Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration, 1 person died, 3 more were wounded. According to the State Emergency Service in Mykolaiv region, there was a fire of a drugstore, shop, and adjoining apartment houses in Bashtansky district of the town. The current day, the Russian army fired at Sumy region. This was stated by the head of Sumy Regional Military Administration, Dmytro Zhivitsky. According to him, 2 missile strikes took place on the territory of Khotin community. Also, the Russian fired from multiple launch rocket systems at Sumy region. About 10 shots were fired at Bilopilla community. 8 mortar strikes were recorded on the territories of Seredina Buda community of Shostka district. There is damage to residential buildings. According to preliminary data, there are no victims. The current day, the Russian military fired artillery at Kharkiv. According to preliminary data, no one was killed or injured. The mayor of Kharkiv, Igor Terechov, reported about it during his appearance on a national telethon. The shelling has damaged homes, cars, shops and garages. Trees have been felled in the yards. Windows and frames have been broken in high-rise buildings. Balconies have been damaged. Explosions hit roofs in some places. It is good that we survived. It's a miracle. I was born during the war, but I don't want to die. At the time of the shelling, the woman was busy in the kitchen. I was cooking borscht. Everything happened unexpectedly. I jumped into the corridor, stood there. I was afraid. I didn't know where to go. I was just confused. The wreckages of Russian shells are scattered along the road, and the curbs have been smashed up. According to locals, the gas pipe has also been damaged as a result of the shelling. The head of Luhansk Regional Military Administration, Serhiy Haidai, said that the Russian military had entered the outskirts of Sievierodonetsk. Heavy battles for the town are taking place. The enemy has used all possible weapons, uses aircraft. However, our military is firmly holding its defense to prevent the advance of Russian army soldiers, Haidai wrote on his telegram. According to him, 2 Sievierodonetsk residents were killed and 5 others were wounded by Russian shells this day. Most of them are residents of one block in the old part of the town. When the shelling began, they were cooking in the yard. 2 residents of Sirotino were seriously injured. The head of the region said that all the wounded had received pre-medical first aid and are now in hospitals in Donetsk region. Serhiy Haidai also added that the current day, 12 houses had been destroyed in Sievierodonetsk, 18 in Lysychansk, 10 residential buildings and a house of culture had been affected in Vrubivka. A total of 49 houses in the region have been destroyed or damaged this day. The National Police of Ukraine reports that the Russian army has destroyed 27 houses and critical infrastructure facilities in Donetsk region this day. The Russians struck at Bakhmut, Toretsk, Avdiivka, Soledar, and 4 other settlements in the region. According to police, the Russians use Grad multiple rocket launchers, artillery, tanks, and small arms to shell Donetsk. 3 civilians were killed in the region this day. There are at least 400 cars on the road near Vasylivka, Zaporizhia region. People have lived in cars for several days. They are not allowed to Zaporizhia, in front of the Russian checkpoint. This is reported by Suspilne with reference to our own sources, which are not disclosed for security reasons. It is reported that people are going to Zaporizhia from the towns under temporary occupation, Mariupol, Kherson, Berdyansk. Mostly women are trying to leave, including pregnant ones, children and people with disabilities. According to Suspilne, about 60 cars were let in last night, and then some of them were brought back again. People say they will continue to stand in front of the Russian checkpoint. They do not want to return to the occupation. After the death of pilot Stepan Tarabalka in the Russian-Ukrainian war, his mother Natalia began volunteering. The woman gave the money she had received from the state for her son's death to buy a car for the military. She's currently collecting aid for the armed forces of Ukraine and working on creating a health center for Ukrainian soldiers. Stepan Tarabalka died in an air battle with the occupiers on March the 13th at the age of 29. When we talked, he said, "It's so beautiful there, Mom. You feel so much space, this height. You just feel at home there." I was just talking to people at unit. They say that he did everything so thoroughly, the preparation for flights, the flight analysis. He tried to analyze every detail. After the start of the full-scale war, the mother and son rarely communicated because of his employment. She vividly remembers the conversation with her son via video link a week after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. You know, I didn't need words, neither did he. He just looked at me, I looked at him. And I saw the glimmer of war, the horror that his eyes reflected. I no longer asked how or what. I understood how serious everything was. Now Natalia Tarabalka is volunteering, collecting requests from the military, and then together with other locals, forming assistance for them. What I'm doing now gives me a chance and an opportunity to continue living, to feel needed. And if so, I want to be needed for other children, sons, parents. You do the things you have to do. This, on the one hand, is inspiring, and on the other hand, you yourself are going through a period when you realize you are not alone. There are many like-minded people who support and share your pain. Yuri Dolinsky, who takes humanitarian aid to the front line, says he met Natalia when she brought money to buy a car for the military. At the time, he didn't know that she was the mother of the deceased pilot and that the money she was donating was payments from the state budget after her son's death.
This is a very strong woman who helps and gives her everything. When I told her it was a lot of money and maybe she shouldn't give it, she said that all the most precious she had already lost.